All right, hope you enjoyed that report about playing games, board games, and I'm sure you have one or two that you would like to start playing right from now. Now, we're going into an interview, still in the line of games, with a young man who has a group that has developed their own card game for themselves, for the nation, titled Naija Champions. And a lot of people have compared it to Naija Awards since it's produced in-house, but I'd like you to hear more from our guest. Check this out, and I'll be right back.
Calm down now. Bro, I just said I will lose. Now why they do am now?
No, trust me. Oh yeah, make it 10. 10 seconds.
10. 1, 2, ready, go.
Any check up.
How do you check up?
40 plus 7.
21.
Minus
10. Me, I go just look you like this. Okay. Hi, good morning. My name is Mohammed Kabir Bello. I'm from Kogi State. I'm a graduate of Ahmad Bello University. I studied chemical engineering. I hold degrees in energy engineering and renewable energy as well. I've worked in various capacities locally and in diaspora, and I currently work as a business consultant by myself. Absolutely. I have an interest in games generally. It's how I pass time. And like most Nigerians, I grew up playing the popular What card games in our households, Monopoly, board games, chess, Scrabble, what have you. Okay, so the Naija Champ is a card game that seeks to educate its players, albeit passively, about Nigeria in general. It cuts across a wide range of disciplines, social studies, economics, geography, or politics, what have you, culture, in fact. What brought about this game was I belong to a larger group of young Nigerians. We call ourselves dreamers, Nigerian dreamers. And we have a collective goal to see Nigeria be a better place. It's important to see what the game looks like at this point. It's basically a card game that each card depicts a state amongst the 36 states of the nation with it's very data laden. You would see the motto of the state, the slogan of the state, the IGR, which stands for Internal Generated Revenue, the size of the state, the day it was created, and a few other facts on it. So it's a facts-based game. And one of the special things about the card is players are, it's flexible. Players are allowed to come up with different ways to play it. Because of its similarity with Words, we find that that's one of people tend to play with the numbers naturally first. Also, we developed 3 ways to play the game, and we named them Nation Builder, Presidential Debate, and Supercomputer. The idea behind Nation Builder is it's a multiplayer game, so you get 2 people or more, and you shuffle the deck of cards and give a certain number to both parties. And while you have the cards at hand, you look at the first card and say to your opponent what state you have in front of you. So, for example, you have this card. I say to my opponent, I have Niger State. And then he's obliged to tell me a few facts about Niger State, and they have to be consistent with the data that is shown here. And that's how he scores a point. Presidential debates, it's a multiplayer game, so if you have 2 or more people, you shuffle the deck of cards and split it amongst yourselves. And the player who goes first says the card that's in front of him, says the states, and the other player has to give a number of facts. It's up to the players to decide. It could be 3 facts, it could be 5 facts, and also decide the scoring mode. However, he has to give facts that are consistent with that state, and that's how you score a point. If you say something wrong, then it's a negative score. Supercomputer is about the numbers, and again, you shuffle the cards, you give a pile to each player, and the player has to, it's a speed game, the player has to add up the numbers in the card up to 0. He has to read through the find an arithmetic formula that adds the numbers or subtracts or whatever arithmetic operation that he wants to perform across the numbers of cards with him to arrive at 0. For every time he stops, then he loses a turn and passes the turn over to the next player.
So why is it like 6?
You have 2. Guy, why is screaming me already?
Okay, you have 3 there, right?
We've seen lots of players come up with several different ways of playing the game. Like the saying goes, catch them young. We have designed the game to be relatable across age groups, and what we hope for is for the younger generation to learn about Nigeria in details passively while they're having fun. So gamify knowledge, basically. That's the first thing. The second thing is for more grown-up group like youths, is to steer the discourse around patriotism away from sentiments and to be facts-based, present factual arguments for why the government, for example, should allocate resources in a certain way because you're aware what the internal generated revenue across states are, rather than I'm from this state, so my state should get a larger piece of the cake.
It's not of these I said, which of these natural resources are not found in Benue State?
That means, for me, we all know that.
And there's no need to see the other options. I know that beans is not found in Benue State.
So that's basically what we aim for. What we intend to, our vision going forward a couple of years is to, like every other thing else, break new frontiers by going digital. So the game is accessible to people across the world, Nigerians across the world, especially Nigerians in diaspora who know little about their country apart from just having a Nigerian heritage. In our opinion, Nigeria has a very vibrant population, and that's what the statistics says as well. And we say the future belongs to the youth, you know. So we have no reason why we shouldn't be a world power in the short future, long-term future. So from us at ACTS, we just say, you know, explore your creativity.
2 divided by 2. You have 1. 1 plus 1. 2 plus 1.
You wanted to now.
Young heart,